Hello everyone, and it is a very special day, the 6th anniversary of Planet Zoo. I've been playing this game since it came out, and, well, frankly, the YouTube channel wasn't around since the start of the game. I think I started it back in 2023, when the Tropical Pack was coming out. Yeah, that was when I started this channel. Oh man, it's been 3 years already, but yeah, we've come to 6 years of Planet Zoo, and yeah, I was playing it way before I started the channel, but yeah, we've come a long way, and I'm honestly really excited for the news that has been revealed in this post. So it reads, "Heyo Zookeepers, today we're celebrating a special milestone. It's the 6th anniversary of Planet Zoo, and we wanted to take the opportunity to thank you all for your continued support and love for the game over the years. Since we launched Planet Zoo back in 2019, we've been blown away by the creativity, passion and dedication of you, the community. From beautiful environments and habitats for animals to thrive in, to jaw-dropping zoos both big and small. Planet Zoo has become a way for all of us to express our love of animals and to share the importance of their welfare and conservation across the globe. But what does the future hold? Well, today we are delighted to reveal that we are hard at work on a sequel to Planet Zoo. We're really excited about this project and we look forward to sharing more with you next year." And so there you have it. Planet Zoo 2 is officially in the works, and yeah, I can simply say I'm excited. Like when I saw this, I was literally just like, yes! I felt like a kid again. But then again, I'm still kind of a kid, so there's that. But yeah, Planet Zoo 2 is officially in the works, and yeah, I'm overjoyed simply, and I'm relieved that I got all those videos out in time so that Frontier has a little bit of inspiration of sort of the things that I think the game needs, but also a few of those features that I mentioned are a lot of what the community has been asking for as well. And there is a meta wish list over on the forums, so if you guys want to find that for Planet Zoo 2 features, go put your lists over on there, and yeah, get the community's wishes right on there so that Frontier can know what to focus on for the sequel and make it the best it can be at launch. But yeah, I'm very excited. I've said that multiple times now, but yeah, it is a very exciting day. Now, Planet Zoo is the core of my channel, pretty much. Like, I know I've been doing a fair bit of Jurassic World Evolution 3 content, but even though I haven't done too many playthroughs of Planet Zoo, I have played over 3,000 hours of the game, which is probably smaller than most of the creators, but even still, it's the most hours I've ever played out of a single game, I would say, and that's just because it's great. Like, I've loved animals since I was young, and so being able to have a game where I can immerse myself in a world with most of my favorite animals, like the red panda, African wild dog, pygmy hippo, Komodo dragon, gharial, Indian rhinoceros, all those animals are some of my favorite creatures in real life, and to have those in Planet Zoo is just a real treat, and hopefully all of them make it back for Planet Zoo 2. And like, we even got animals in the DLCs that I never thought we'd get, like Cockerel Safaka. I was pining for that, and we got it, and I was shocked to say the least. We even got Bush Dog, which is another animal that I wasn't expecting, but was so happy to see. Honey Badger, I felt like it stood a good chance. What else did we get that was pretty exciting? Tasmanian Devil, my favourite Australian animal that we have here in Oz. It is easily my favourite. I've actually held one in real life, and it was quite an experience. And yeah, Tasmanian Devil was at the top of my wish list for Planet Zoo for many years. It was even above meerkat, but then again, I am very familiar with meerkats in zoos, as here in Australia we have them in just about every single one. And so it's an animal that I felt like was going to come into the game, but Tasmanian Devil, I was somewhat more skeptical. We even got Quokka. Quokka is another one that I've had pretty great experiences with, that I never thought we'd get in Planet Zoo, but I was so happy we did. But yeah, like, that's just what this game has been for me, is both an educational journey, but also just celebrating my personal passion for animals. Like, I love animals great and small, prehistoric and living today, like all equally. And so it's great to have a game that fully celebrates that. Like, this is the most diverse zoo game I think we've ever had. Like, Zoo Tycoon, the Zoo Tycoon series was largely mammalian, and hey, Planet Zoo is, but then again, the mammals are generally what you find in zoos most of the time. But it's a good diversity of mammals. Like, we got bats and rodents, the two most diverse groups of mammals on this planet, and we have a relatively good diversity of at least the rodents. But yeah, we've got a lot of great mammals. We've got horses of various kinds, 4 equids I believe it is, which is more than the Zoo Tycoon the Ultimate Animal Collection had. We have so many canids, different felids, almost all the bears. Like, the canine diversity in this game is really great. Like, I know people are sick of the dogs, but like having dogs in almost every pack, but they are just so cool. Like, you have to admit that they are a really great group of animals. Like, we have got dogs that can swim underwater, we've got dogs that can climb trees, dogs taller than the grass, those that hunt in packs, dogs that whistle, howl, bark, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, a lot of other diverse groups of animals. Like, we've got several mustelids, which is another very diverse group. Several different antelope. There are a few personal favorites of mine that I could imagine in the future. But yeah, like, coming from someone who studies zoology, this is a great game, to say the least. Like, it is easily my favorite game. Jurassic World Evolution is up there, but then again, it is a franchise game. But this one, I feel like, celebrates real animals more so than animals in a franchise. Like, of course, dinosaurs were real, but like, it's sort of different in a way. Like, these animals that we have in Planet Zoo are animals that you could go out to see in the wild if you were lucky, whereas non-avian dinosaurs you're probably not going to. So yeah, it's a very special game for me, and like, I know a lot of creators have covered this game in more detail than I have. Like, I've only done some very brief playthroughs, but then again, playthroughs aren't exactly what I like to focus on. And generally, when I'm playing the game, it's usually in my own time, when I don't have to be recording or anything else. I can just sit there quietly, enjoy the game, and I do kind of want to do that in the future. And when Planet Zoo 2 comes out, we will play the game, but well, definitely. But whether a lot of the gameplay will have initial voiceover, I don't think it will, because I think it's easier for me to personally concentrate when I'm not talking the whole time, because I'll run out of puff eventually and exhaust myself while in the midst of building an enclosure. And I think I really enjoyed that when we were building Tanabinatang, which I did have to stop because I realised a major design flaw in the zoo's layout, where I'd built Southeast Asia into a bit of a corner with the elephants, and I wanted to give the elephants more space than they had, because I wanted to make an ethical zoo, but like, I limited myself to putting it right on the edge of the map, and so had to stop that. And yeah, but the way I was doing those is I was filming the build while I was doing it, so I wasn't talking, I was just filming and building the habitat, and made changes here and there in the midst of the footage, but did it as sort of a speed build. But I think I primarily stopped it is just because I hadn't really planned it out that well. Like, when trying to plan the zoo, I was cramming in more animals than I needed. So like, I think the last video we did with Tanabinatang was the bears. So when we added the sun bears and the Asian black bears. Asian black bear was not on my initial plan. And frankly, I don't think Dole was either. Or the Averys, those weren't in my initial plans. I had a set of ideas, but yeah, then started adding more animals than I needed. And frankly, when you're making an exhibit for a zoo and you're trying to be somewhat realistic about it, you need to pick your animals carefully. And you want to relate to a theme. You want to stick to a theme, stick to a cast of characters that you want, and yeah, just stick with it. Whereas I was adding as many animals as I felt like. And frankly, that large walkthrough Aviary turned out nice, but it was fairly exhausting to build. Hopefully, like with the actual Aviary system that is hopefully going to be in Planet Zoo 2, we get a much easier system for building aviaries, because yeah, building them from scratch is frankly exhausting, for me at least. Like, I know a lot of people can do it pretty well, but yeah. Anyway, let's get on to some of the features that I think Planet Zoo 2 should definitely prioritize. First of which being, of course, aviaries and aquariums. Like, even though I know it's an important feature, it's not actually my most requested feature, because it feels like something that's sort of a given. Like, aviary species and aquarium species are found in zoos around the world, and so it's sort of something you'd expect. But other things like expanded management, so I went through all of this in a separate series, so I'll link the playlist at the end of the video for all the videos that I put together before this official announcement, because I knew it was only a matter of time, and I did the same thing for Jurassic World Evolution 3, did a whole bunch of videos, and a lot of those features did end up coming into the game itself, and so thought I'd do a similar thing for Planet Zoo 2, and so hopefully, if Frontier even watches my channel, can get that. But yeah, I think the most important thing is management. Expanded management in Planet Zoo 2 is one of the most important things for me. So real zoos, as I have done some work experience, function very differently to how they do in the game. It's not as simple as having the staff and they do certain tasks. There's a lot of other things that you have to manage, like weather and seasons actually having a direct impact on your zoo. Like, of course, you have the snowfall, but that's about it. Rain doesn't flood your zoos. Leaves in the fall aren't just littering your path, or anything like that. Other factors like a working backstage system. So animals, when they're housed at backstage, they are kept separately and out of sight. And so they're in a specific holding area, and there's all sorts of hatches and doors and slides and all that sort of stuff that the keepers use to both work with the animals but also keep the animals safely housed, away from either each other, depending on the species, or an arm's length from the keepers, because if you're working with animals like lions, you don't want to be really right there with the animal in the same space. And there's of course a lot of risk that comes with certain animals, so backstage systems have to work in that way, and I think it would add a lot of realism to the game to have working backstage modules like functioning doors and gates that work with a set timetable that the player determines for the animals. It can also help with having animals on exhibit at certain times. So if you're working with animals that are, say, crepuscular or nocturnal, you only have them out and exhibit at certain times. You don't just have them out the whole time. You can keep them indoors, and could even recommend guests which times are the best to see these animals, and so guests can prioritize their visits to the zoo on what animals they see first and which animals they might stand a better chance at seeing later. What else? Probably all the Planet Coaster 2 features and some of the Jurassic World Evolution 3 features are really important, especially the paths. I cannot wait to get those Planet Coaster 2 paths in Planet Zoo 2. The modular scaling. What else? There's the scenery brush, in regards to Jurassic World Evolution 3 stuff, the waterfalls and just the water system, I think, would be really nice to have in Planet Zoo 2. Simply because waterfalls are a hassle to make in the current Planet Zoo, and you can't often always have them working the way you want them. If there was a way to have just flowing water as just something that you can place into a system, or just a body of water, that could work better. Just have the water flow down the pieces, and it act as, I don't really want to say its own entity, but sort of just make it a bit more dynamic and easier to use, because the water in the game is, it's a hassle to work with. It's like the habitat construction equivalent of the paths, and so having better water, I think, is very important, as well as expanded construction tools, so being able to have more faux rocks as well, an expanded exhibit system that is sort of like a miniaturized habitat system would work wonders for the reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates that you house in them, and even probably make the walkthrough exhibits a little bit more versatile as well, and just allow players to create much more convincing and realistic reptile houses. Also, with the terrain tools, be able to have the terrain much shallower in relation to the path, because as you can see here with the Ark at Taronga Zoo, which I highly recommend, by the way, it's a really great exhibit. You can see here on the left, you have a walkway that's going past what is a coastal taipan exhibit and a few others in there. It's a tunnel that goes down into the rest of the Ark there. But above it, you've got a habitat which I believe is for lace monitors, and that's above the guests' heads. So being able to have an exhibit that can be crafted like that, where it's got a set depth in the terrain that you can work with, and have the guests walking under, have other exhibits under it, and all that sort of stuff would really do wonders for the exhibits. It would be much more versatile and much more customizable in that way. And yeah, just more control over pieces as well, possibly even having dynamic pieces that you can shape to match with a specific construction style that you want. I think that would be really great. And also diagonal grid pieces. Jurassic World Evolution 3 has those, and they're really great for making more dynamic building shapes. More guest experiences, so having animal encounters where guests are able to feed the giraffes, that could sort of work like the dinosaur encounter, or Gentle Giants encounter in Jurassic World Evolution 3, and have others for various other animals as well. So like you're able to go, guests are able to be taken into the exhibit with the keeper and have like an encounter with a red panda or a capybara, ring-tailed lemurs. Possibly even have another one on the fence where you have some tongs and you feed meat to like a big cat. Guest transport like buses, a revised gondola ride, bikes, go-karts, and go-karts for the staff as well, would be really important. Like, the staff need to get around big zoos quicker. Like, you can't just make them run a marathon. They need vehicles. And Jurassic World Evolution 3 honestly makes that look so much nicer, how the staff can actually get around much quicker and more efficiently than the ones in Planet Zoo. They'd be able to respond to certain tasks much quicker. And that's just a basic little wish list of mine for things that Planet Zoo 2 should include. But of course, you have that playlist I'll link at the end. And yeah, that just goes in a lot more depth over what I want for Planet Zoo 2. But yes, that is the news. So Planet Zoo 2 is officially coming. Mark your calendars for 2026. I imagine late 2026, as that tends to be the time of year when Frontier releases their games. And so really look forward to that. Really excited. We're entering a new era. We entered a new era for Jurassic World Evolution. We're now going to enter a new era for Planet Zoo. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How excited are you for Planet Zoo 2? what animals you want to see added to the game, as I hope there are no roster cuts. Well, you could drop a couple. Titan beetle does not need to be there. It is an animal that does not survive in captivity. Goliath frog hasn't been in captivity for a hot minute. Himalayan brown bear should just be merged with the grizzly for just brown bear. Same with all the other subspecies. Just compile them into whole species instead of subspecies, and maybe have the subspecies as variations that you select yourself. But yeah, that would be really cool. But yeah, let me know your meta wish list of features in the comments, your animal meta wish list, and yeah, let the hype begin for Planet Zoo 2. And I'll see you in the next one.